Tan Books presents Old Thunder, A Life of Hilaire Belloc, written by Joseph Pearce and read by Kevin Spalding. Dedication for James Catford. In lasting gratitude for the faith he has always shown in my work. Preface by Dale Alhquist. G.K. Chesterton said that he and Belloc were completely different. It just so happened that they agreed on politics and religion. It is precisely that agreement that has caused most observers to associate them with one another. Certainly they both advocated widespread ownership and local-based economics. They both defended the Catholic faith, even before Chesterton became Catholic. They both extolled laughter and the love of friends. And they were both virtuosos of the written word, which was not only put to use defending the same ideas, but defending each other. It was, of course, their agreement on politics and religion that provoked George Bernard Shaw to label them as one four-legged beast known as the Chester Belloc. But they were different. The revival of interest in Chesterton has predictably helped revive an interest in Belloc as well, but it is almost as if Belloc has been forced to tag along, as if being attached to Chesterton by a tether. I am often asked, "When are you going to do Belloc?" as if I am expected to do what I have been involved in doing with Chesterton, establishing a literary society devoted to him, collecting and cataloging his entire literary output, drawing attention to his writings through a magazine, a television show, an active website, an annual conference, dozens of local societies, and putting a great deal of effort into reinvigorating scholarship and research. But I still have my hands full. Someone else is going to have to do Belloc. After all, they were different. And it should be done. Belloc deserves it. He is a great writer and a great warrior, and certainly a great wit, especially when it comes to the skewering in verse of naughty boys and girls. Joseph Pearce, of course, does not have the same limitations I have. While I am eternally stuck on my one writer, he simply takes on one great literary figure after another and writes a profound and permanent treatment of their life and works, managing somehow to distill a great mass of material into one book, even while adding to our understanding and pointing out something new. But even after Joseph Pearce began his prolific career as a biographer, starting with his book on Chesterton, the question among his growing legion of fans was, when will he do Belloc? The assumption was, if one, then the other. But they were different. And this, the most expected of Joseph Pearce's books, bears out the unexpected conclusion. In some ways, both Chesterton and Belloc have been treated unfairly because of the obligation to hook them together. What some critics do not like about Chesterton, i.e. his politics and his religion, they blame on Belloc. What some critics admire about Belloc, something other than his politics and religion, they attribute to Chesterton. Wrong on all counts. Neither can escape the other's shadow, and as good friends, neither would wish to. But Belloc has suffered most from being part of the mythological creature because his work is seldom considered independently of Chesterton. But they were different. Anyone who spends any time with the two writers will soon see their differences, but even then there is the danger of being superficial when making the distinctions. Chesterton will be the optimist, Belloc the pessimist. Chesterton will be seen as comic, and Belloc as tragic. Chesterton is the happy child, and Belloc is the grumpy old man. But even in touching the tragic aspect of Belloc, his critics do not go deep enough. Those who scoff at or satirize him only parade their ignorance and insensitivity about what another man is called to endure. For Belloc was visited by tragedies that most people will never imagine, much less experience. Many public figures hide sin and scandal. Belloc hid only his private pain.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?